into the Golf Spotlight. I'm Ralph Irvin here in the Golf Shop studio, and today we are talking about irons, and we have some really special ones from Titleist. But before we get to these clubs, I ask you to click on the red subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode of the Golf Spotlight. And let us know, would you be more inclined to try a game improvement iron if it didn't look like a game improvement iron? Curious to find out your responses. But now, let's talk about these new clubs, the Titleist T300 irons, as we are joined once again by Marnie Inez, the Director of Irons Development with Titleist R&D. Marnie, thanks for joining us again.
Hey, it's great to be here again. Long time no see. Thanks for having me again.
Obviously, not everyone is a great ball striker, and many likely think of Titleist as a player's brand. But the new T300 irons are fantastic game improvement clubs, aren't they?
Yes. So it's definitely a product that if you're looking for distance, this is the iron for you. If you're looking for as much distance as we can give you in an iron set, this is going to be the one.
And these clubs look a lot different from the prior T300 model.
The previous generation had a feature on the back of the iron where the support for the core kind of started on the back side of the iron and was diving into the cavity, And if you looked at the club from address, you could kind of see a little bit of it from the back side here. And so some of the feedback was like, hey, can you give us a little bit of slimmer, sleeker look? Again, that seems to be what our target wants. And when you look at this iron now, there's nothing hanging off this back surface here. And so you can see the max impact core support bar has been tucked into the cavity, what I'm calling a cantilever support design, which means that it's cantilevered, it's coming up off of the sole now inside the cavity, as opposed to coming off of this back rib here. And that does a couple things for us. So we made another change to the face where now we've changed the face to be what we're calling a variable face design versus constant thickness design. And it really is something that allows us to get more ball speed on off-center hits, right? So if you think about it, the iron head is this kind of trapezoidal shape where you have a big toe, kind of smaller heel height here. Naturally, it's easier to bend something that has a taller span. So what we did was we took the thickness of the face and we said, why don't we start to taper it as we go into the heel? So why don't we make it thinner as we go to the heel, which would then give us better ball speed, not only in the heel, but it also netted out better ball speed low in conjunction with that new cantilever core support design. Most players coming from the older T300 to this one, should see more ball speed on those off-center hits. Those two changes, they're pretty major. But if you look at this iron, again, it has a simpler look to it. It's now chrome-plated versus the other one was not chrome-plated, which is something that these players wanted too. It's like, why can't we have that nice finish in this category? So we finally decided to add it into this product as well.
These irons have a 40% increase in tungsten from the previous model, which means you were able to shave a lot of weight from elsewhere.
Yep, definitely. And a lot of that was coming off of the back side of the iron here, underneath here and where that older core support bar was. There was a lot of thickness that we carved out there. But yeah, that essentially helps us keep that level of MOI, that we had in the previous design. Because it's something that we find is important, is getting that CG where we need it to be, having enough MOY so that, especially in clubs with a face technology like 200 and 300, by having a higher MOI, your face is going to work better, right? Because when you have a high MOI, the club head is more stable. It doesn't twist as much at impact, and that allows you to get more energy into the face and back into the golf ball. And it's not lost in the club head twisting open or twisting shut. That to us, we feel like, that's a competitive advantage for us. We have intellectual property around using high amounts of tungsten in the heel and toe irons. It's very important to us to use tungsten to have a combination of high MOI and CG properties that we do.
Marnie, if people want to learn more about the T300 irons or anything from Titleist, where should they go?
Just head over to Titleist.com. That's the best place to get it.
We want to thank Marnie and Nez for joining us here on the Golf Spotlight. Of course, Marnie and I have already broken down the T100 and T200 irons, and if you haven't yet, you should definitely check those videos out. Once again, please click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss one of our exclusive features. Have a question? Leave a comment down below. We always reply. Follow us on Twitter at Golf Spotlight and get the latest from us on Instagram at The Golf Spotlight. And listen to the Range podcast, where we look back at the careers of the men and women behind some of your favorite golf innovations. Finally, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Golf Spotlight as we continue to give you the information that you need for your next golf purchase.